Hi, I am Sara, and my PhD is about the use of glucose sensors in the daily life of people living with type 1 diabetes. But first, what is type 1 diabetes? When you have type 1 diabetes, your body attacks the cells in your pancreas that make insulin, so you can't produce any insulin at all. And we all need insulin to live. It does an essential job. It allows the glucose in our blood to enter our blood cells and fuel our bodies. When you have type 1 diabetes, your body still breaks down the carbohydrate from food and drinks and turns it into glucose. But when the glucose enters your bloodstream, there's no insulin to allow it into your body's cells. More and more glucose then builds up in your bloodstream. Therefore, these people regularly need insulin from outside the body. They also need to check if their blood glucose is not too low or too high by using a blood glucose testing device several times a day. This is important because over a long period of time, if they don't do this adequately, high glucose levels can seriously damage the heart, eyes, feet, and kidneys. For decades, the standard method to measure blood glucose is by using a blood glucose meter. Nowadays, there's another option available, glucose sensors. Let me show you the difference between the two by comparing managing diabetes to driving a car along a winding road, a journey you want to enjoy and stay safe on. Using a blood glucose meter is like driving your car based on snapshot views back of the road, for which you have to stop your ride, look back and see a few meters along the way. On the other hand, with glucose sensors, the driver has constantly updated detailed navigational information about the road ahead, including warnings about hazards and other events, and advice about current speed and driving direction. Thus, without stopping your car, you can follow the past journey with all the ups and downs. So you can possibly guess that by using sensors, it is much easier to keep glucose levels under control. But is this correct? Many randomized controlled trials suggest that this is indeed the case. However, these conclusions are not generalizable to the broad population of people living with type 1 diabetes, because these trials only include participants who are very motivated to do well and who meet very strict inclusion criteria. During my PhD, I take a different path. I investigate the use of glucose sensors in daily life, because only then can we fully understand the added value of this technology. To this purpose, I coordinate multiple clinical studies looking at the impact of glucose sensors on different aspects in the daily life of people living with type 1 diabetes. With our findings, we try to advise our healthcare authority in how they should implement reimbursement for this expensive technology so that the right people are able to benefit from its use.